Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to use a regression line, a line of best fit, to monitor your bank account to see whether or not you're making or losing money over a specified period of time. This is very useful if you're spending money and want to know whether your bank account's going down or up. You may need to make some adjustments in life. So we're going to use Python 3. We're going to do some imports here to start things up. We're going to import SQLite 3. We're going to import NumPy as NP, which is the standard way of importing it. Import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, that is. And then we're going to import a datetime. And if you don't have any of these modules, you'll have to install them on your system, though you should have some of them automatically, like SQLite 3, I believe, is automatically installed. So we're going to establish a connection. We're going to do equals SQLite 3 dot connect. And for this here, you can establish a database name. So you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this bank account. See if I spell account right. Probably not. .db. But if this already exists, if this database already exists, then Python will skip this line. If it doesn't exist, then it's going to create the database. So that's what we're doing here, is we're creating a database since this is the first time we're using it. Now you're going to make a cursor. You're going to do connection dot cursor. All right. And we want today's date. We'll need this for later. So let's just do this now. Date time dot date. Then we're going to do dot today. This will give us today's date. So now let's create a table. We're going to say cursor dot execute. Execute, open and close parentheses. I like to do the three quotes for each line. So 3 quotes on either side is the way I like to do it, because this enables you to do multiple lines. And the syntax is very similar to regular MySQL. So we're going to say create table, but we're going to add if not exist, because if this table already exists, then Python's going to throw an error. If it doesn't exist, then it will create the table, and we're going to call it money. And then we're going to do open and close parentheses. Let's tab this over a bit. I like doing stuff on new lines. It's just neater, I think. Start making your rows. So money ID is what we're going to call this. This is going to be an integer, and it's going to be the primary key. So this here is going to act the same way as a primary key does in MySQL. So we're going to go here, put a comma, and we'll do a new line, and then we're going to say money date, and this is going to be text, comma, and then we will do amount, and this is going to be real, is what we're going to call this data type. This is the data type of SQL3. We could also do text for this, but we're going to leave it as real for money. And now let's just test this out. Let's see if we insert some stuff into this table, is it going to show up? So let's do an insert statement. So let's do cursor dot execute, and then we'll do our parentheses, do our triple quotes here, insert into money, and we will do our open and close parentheses, and just name all the rows that we just defined. So money date, sorry about that, money, and we'll go down here, tab over, call this values, go down here, and for the money ID, you want to type null. If you put null, this will cause this to just auto increment. So it'll start out as 1, then 2, then 3, and this will act the same way as it does in regular MySQL. All right, so now we're going to put a fake date in here, because our next column is money date. So we'll do 2022. We'll say it's February, and we'll say it's the 1st of February. And then we're going to put quotes for the money, and I'll say $1,000 is what I had. And here's a nice little tip I'm going to give you. This is something that was driving me nuts for a while. If you don't commit this, then any changes you make, any inserts you make, they'll be lost the next time you run the database. So you want to say connection.commit, and just like that. And that will write these changes to the database. So the next time you go to use this, the changes will be persistent. All right, so now let's just see if this data has been added. So let's do a select. We're going to select this data. And you know what? I'm only going to do 2 quotes just to prove that you don't actually have to do multi-quotes. So we'll say select all from money, and we'll do that. And then you have to get the results here. So results are going to equal the cursor. Let's try and spell that right. So it's cursor dot execute, and it's going to be select, and then you're going to do dot fetch all. So that will give us a list of all the results, and then we can just print the results. And that will enable us to see if this is actually working. So if this works, we should get an output with 1, then the date, then 1,000, which is what we just put in the database. Let's go to a terminal, and let's run this. And let's see, we got an error, syntax, invalid syntax. Oh, did I forget to put equals? There we go. Yeah, definitely put equals there. Now let's run it. And here it is. We have 1, the date, and the amount we added. So we know that all of this works. This table was created. We're able to insert into the table, and we're able to pull or query, rather, the results from the table. So now let's get rid of this. All right, we don't need any of that anymore. So we just created our table right here. So now we want to know, what do we want to do? Do we want to add data to the table? Do we want to query results from the table? So let's make a variable, what, and we'll call it what to do, very fancy. And it's going to be input, let me see. If you want to add, type add, and let's do it like that. Or charts. We'll just do it like this. Type or chart. So if you want a chart, you can type the word chart, and you'll get a chart. And I have to put an end quote there. All right. So what to do? That's all set. Now we want to do our little if-else statement. You know, if what to do equals add, then this means we want to add stuff to the database. So we will say, do we want to add the date? No, we need to put the date in. Do we want to add the date manually, or do we want Python to just automatically select today's date, which is why we have the today right there. That's today's date. So let's go ask that question. We can say man or auto, manual or auto, equals input type date. Well, let's see this. Do you want to type date manually y/n? And y for yes, n for no, obviously. So now let's go back up here, like doing it right under it. Now the amount. We want to know how much money do we want to add to the bank. So how much money to add to DB, I suppose, database. You can really put whatever you want there. So now if man or machine, if man or auto equals y, then that means we want to manually add the date. So let's get the date. That equals input, let's do that, type today's date, or sorry, it doesn't have to be today's date. Type date as year/month/day. All right, so now we have the date, and then we want to know what to do if man or auto does not equal that, elif, yes, one second. All right. All right. Well, leave it as elif. Elif. I don't know why it's highlighted there. Maybe we'll find out if I get an error. Equals n. Then date equals today. So basically, the date's going to be today. I have a feeling I'm going to get an error there because elif is highlighted. But where would the error be? I actually don't know. Well, we'll have to see. Anyway, let's execute this insert here. So we're going to do triple quotes, and we're going to say insert into money, and we're going to do just like we did before, money ID, and then what is it? Money date, I think. Money date, and then it's amount, and we will close that. We will go here, values, and then we will do our open close parenthesis. And remember, put null for the money ID, and then we're going to do some string formatting. You're going to do quotes with your squiggly brackets, and then after the parentheses, you're going to type dot format, and it's going to be the date and the amount, which we defined here. We have the amount here, then we have the date right over here. I'm still bugged by the highlighted LF, but we'll find out soon what that means for us. Okay, and anyway, now you want to commit this. Remember, you got to commit. If you don't commit, you're going to be scratching your head wondering why these changes are not being saved. Okay, so let's just see what happens when we run this. We're going to hit add, and we'll add some stuff to the database. Let's go back to our trusty terminal. And we have, let me see. Here's our error. If what to do equals add. Okay, where is the error there? Let's find it. Where are we? Okay, if what to do equals add. Oh, haha, look at that. We have a quote right here. Let's get rid of that. And this has to go inside. Okay, there we go. That fixed it. All right, yay. So now type add, and we're going to hit Y for yes. Do we want to add it manually, or do we want Python to do it automatically? I want to do it manually. All right, so how much money to add? Say $1,000, or sorry, $100. And we're going to do a date of January 1st. And now let's do another one here. So this is all working, but let's just add a few dates here. So we'll say add, we'll say Y for manual, we'll say $1,000 this time, and we're going to say February, 2022. Then it's February, then it's 10th, let's say. And for now, let's just do one more. We'll say add, we'll say Y, we'll say $1,500. We'll say 2022. We'll say 05, let's say, and then it's 01. We'll say that, and that's good for now. So now this all works. This add column, it works splendidly. So now, what if we want to see a chart? Well, now we need to do another section here for the if statement. We're going to say elif what to do equals chart. Put our little colon there. Get rid of that quote that just showed up. And let's get rid of that one. Here we go. We can do it. We did it. All right. So what if what to do equals chart instead of add? Well, now we're going to start to see how to make a chart. Now, what we want to do, we want to know how long do we want to go back. Do we want to go back 6 months or 1 month or all time, for instance? So let's say, make a variable, how long it equals input, how long to go back for. All right, we'll do that. And then we'll say if, not ID, if how long equals all, so let's say you want all time, then this is going to be simple. Select is just going to equal, select money ID and amount. You don't want the date for this. Just select money ID and amount, and you're going to say from money, and that's that. And then you want to say else. Put your little colon there. Now, we're going to figure out, what if you don't select all? What if I select 30 or 60 for 30 days or 60 days? Let's make a variable. Let's call it num days, and it's going to equal today. Remember, we defined today way up here in the beginning. Remember that? Today is right there from our date time. So it's going to equal today, and you're going to subtract the number of days from it. So go date time dot time delta. Then you're going to say days equal int. We're going to cast how long as an int, because right now, we're going to cast we're going to cast how long as an int, because right now how long is a string. And you're just going to type how long. So if I typed 60, so 60 right here, 60 would get casted as an integer for 60 days. It would take 60 days off the current date, which is today. So that's how we're going to do that. And then we're going to make another select statement. And select is going to equal, I'm going to do single quotes again. Did I spell select? No, I didn't spell it right. I never spelled things right. I should go back to school. So money ID and amount from money, and we're going to say where money date is less than is greater than or equal to, oops, oh goodness, see, I should have did my dual quotes. Okay, and we're going to do some string formatting here. So let's leave it like that. And then we'll say, go over here, and then dot format, and we'll say num days. Not numpy, num days. There we go. Numpy was used earlier. So let's take a look at this. From money, where a money date is greater than or equal to the num days, which is, say, if we put 60, this would be, let's say, 60 days prior to the current date is what we're going to get, because you're taking it from today. So that's going to be, so the date, for instance, if it were let's say February 1st, you take 30 days off, it will be January 1st. We would be selecting everything where money date is greater than January 1st is what we'd be doing, which is what we want to do. All right, so now we need to get us some results here. So we're going to say results. This is just like before when we were testing it out, only this time we're going to put equals there to make sure I do it right. Going to execute the select statement, and we're going to say to fetch all, so that way we get a list of all the results. So, all right, so now we can start working on getting our plot, our regression lines. We're going to make a few lists. We're going to call this one money. It's going to equal an empty list, and we're going to call this one time, and it's also going to equal an empty list. And let's just scroll down a bit here. So now for T and M in results, we're going to iterate through results here. We're going to append, I was expecting the word append to show up. We're going to append the results to the list that we just created. So now we got money dot append M. All right. So now get outside that for loop. we're going to define our x and y's here for the graph. So y is going to equal np. That's the numpy that we just imported when we first started. We imported numpy. That's what this is. Going to make an array here. And it's going to be money. So y will be where our money is. That's the bottom axis. And x, the vertical axis, will be our time. And we're going to append time. So, all right. So we're going to append the time and the money to a numpy array here. And now we're going to start creating the plot. PLT, we imported this when we first started as well. So you're going to say PLT plot x, y, and then this is going to be O. Now, if you do O, you won't get a line connecting the various points. But you could also do a dash. You'll get a solid line, or a double dash, and you'll get a dotted line connecting the points. But I'm going to do O because I actually don't want to see that. So go down to the line. I'm going to say MB equals NP dot polyfit. Polyfit x, y, and then 1. Now, truth be told, I don't know why this is 1. I don't know why it can't be 5 or another number. But all the tutorials I watch, it's 1. So I'm going to leave it as 1. I'm not going to mess with it. So then you say plt dot plot. I'm going to say x, and then put your equation in. It's going to be m times x plus b. And that's going to give us our regression line. And I'm just going to add a space here to make it look neater. I like things to look neat. And I'm going to hit plt dot x label. Make sure you spell label right or it won't work. It's always a problem for me. We'll call the x label money. And we're going to say plt. Sorry, you know what? Let's call this money. Yeah, let's do this again. We'll call this money, and we're going to make the y. The y is going to be money. Okay, so the y is going to be money, and let's make this time. Yeah, there we go. We went with the same label twice. So x, the bottom axis, is time, and the y is money. That makes the most sense. Plt dot x title, and we can call this banking money, something like that. And then down here, we just want to show this plot. So plt.show, and right there. And now this should work. So let's see. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to run this. Hopefully you don't get an error. I'm going to say chart, and I'll say all. And, oh, you know what? I never defined what to do for all. Did I define that? All right, so I have it here. Let's see, results. Oh, you know, I put this all in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't need this all in the under the else block, actually. So you know what we got to do? We have to move this out from under the else block. So if you're using Sublime Text, you just highlight everything and hit Shift Tab. So now you see all of this is now outside the else block here. That was a mistake of mine to put it in there. So let's do this again. Let's say chart all, and let's see, results is not defined. Let's see, yeah, we want this out of there too. So let's put that right there. Sorry about that, everybody. So now results is outside the block as well, which is proper. Yeah, the only things that need to be in this block are basically the select statements to tell us what to select from the database. All right, one more time. It'll work this time, I promise. Chart, and then all. Has no attributes, X title, so that means I spelt something wrong, which, as we know, I have a problem with spelling. Oh, why did I put X? How about just title? That'll probably work a bit better. All right, so let's try again. And you see that? We all have errors. There here. So you can see in this fictional bank account, the line of best fit shows that it's increasing. So this is good. We're making money here. Okay, so let's add some data to this. We'll just add a few data points, hit add Y for add the date manually. We're going to put, say, $2,000. The date will be 2022, 0101. We'll add a few more. Say add yes for manual. We'll say $3,000 now. 2022 0202. Let's. I did that wrong. But we'll see. In fact, I'm curious if this will throw an error or not. Let's see. Since I put the date in wrong. Chart all. All right. Well, it doesn't throw an error, so that works well enough for us. That's fine. So let's just add. You know, obviously you saw what happened, but let's just do a few more. Why not? Add a few more data points. I'm going to say add. It's going to be, we'll hit no this time, so Python will do it automatically. We'll say $100, all right? And let's add just a few more for the heck of it. We'll say add Y. We'll say $150. This guy has a wide-ranging bank account here. 05, 06. How about one more there? Add. We'll say Y for, whoops, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Type add. Then we'll hit Y for add a date manually. We'll say 500. No, we'll say 5,000. Why not? And then 2022, 0801. Okay, that should be good enough. So now let's run this again. We'll say chart. And you can type all like we've been doing. You get your regression line. So this guy's been making money throughout all time. The regression line is up. His bank account is going upwards. And we can also check a specific time range. So we'll say chart. Say you want to do 30 days, the last 30 days. There's only one data point for that. So that's not going to work. Let's do it again. Chart. Try 60 days. So over 60 days, his bank account's going up as well. So basically, this is all this is. You can check your bank account over a period of time to see whether it's rising or falling with this regression line, this line of best fit. That's what this is. It's a line of best fit. It just will tell you whether it's generally increasing or decreasing. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll have more tutorials like this. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I will make more videos just like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.